Hey, tennis peeps. Just want to go over something that I really like about Jensen Brooksby's forehand that maybe can also help you improve your own forehand. And it's something a lot of pros do, but I really feel like he pays special attention to it for a reason I'll tell you about later, how he warmed up with his coach. But first, I'm going to show you the skill, and then I'm going to show you the drill. But first, real quick, let's just go over something I'm not a huge fan of about Brooksby's forehand, and that's just kind of the manner in which he prepares his racket. Kind of has more of a V-shaped take back where his racket wants to go. He kind of muscles it straight back low, a little early to me. And it's just something we see from actually a lot of American players just don't have a lot of structure to their preparation. So even though he can understand this, what to me is the most important fundamental, which I'm about to show you, which is also something that most people don't do. It's probably the most common problem I fix. Yeah, I kind of like the racket to stay higher, a little longer on the take back. And again, you can have it pretty short, but still have the racket stay high and drop more with gravity. So as an example here, I'll show you Isner, who has a prep position. Again, there's lots of guys I could show you that just take it back a little higher, a little longer. It has a little bit more of a Nike swoop shape to it. And again, there's really two main reasons I prefer a prep that's a little bit more like that. One is when the racket's back higher, you can move a little better. So your arms are meant to be pumped while you're moving, and when your arms are up with your body moving, you can move a little better. And then the other reason is you can really get more power on the run. So while you're running, you can actually be using gravity to have the racket fall. And a lot of players can't do that when they don't have a proper preparation. So this racket, when you're using more gravity to drop that racket back, you can actually gain racket head speed without a ground reaction force, which typically you can't do. But what he does do that I really like, and again, I say I think he focuses on this because when he was warming up with his coach, mini tennis, he was really swinging fast, and the ball was just quickly dipping over there right from the very beginning. And the ball, you could just hear the sound on the strings, and he was really focused on getting just heavy revolutions with his ball. And what I don't see usually from people when they're ball striking is just the racket, how long it stays closed through the hit. So basically you want to just really feel like you're leading in with this top edge. And again, it's just understanding ball striking. You know, most people want to kind of scoop at the very end, or they'll just let their racket kind of square out too early, and then they end up kind of coming slightly on the bottom of the ball. And that's just not the case. You definitely want to be targeting the top of the ball, lead in with that top edge if you really want to be able to rip a ball. Now, although the racket is nearly vertical at contact, we say, if you leave that racket closed through the hit, target the top, and you're just going to be able to swing really fast, and you're going to be able to get revolutions plus compression. You're going to get rotation plus compression. And one of my favorite things to say to people is just remember, the presence of rotation doesn't mean the absence of compression. And again, I wouldn't say necessarily he's doing it consciously, exactly what I'm talking about, but it's, to me, whether consciously or not, it's something he understands about ball striking that allows him to go out there, swing very, very fast, and hit a very heavy ball because he's not sacrificing revolutions for compression. Yeah, so leave that racket closed in through the hit, and you're going to be more successful hitting topspin. Again, because it's the most common problem I see, I have a couple corrective drills, but really the most important one that's really helped me get players have a better sense of this is just my intentional grounding drill. You want to go out and try to keep your racket so closed that the ball just can't go over the net. Like you just kind of intentionally have your racket too close to go over the net. Now, a couple things about this drill. Usually the first thing that happens is people just kind of get something in between and they end up hitting a really nice forehand and their eyes light up and they're like, wow. But then the other thing to keep in mind is you don't want to change your swing. Some people do it, they just think, oh, I just want to hit the ball straight in the ground. You want to try to maintain your same swing, but you also want to do it with the racket face. You don't want to swing straight in. You want to try to maintain your same swing and keep the racket face so close through the hit that the ball just can't go over the net. Do that a few times, and then maybe on like the third or fourth one, just try to rip it over the net and see what happens. And this is the same both forehand and backhand, by the way. You can do it on both sides. So go out and try the intentional grounding drill. If you think you might be that person that has that slight scoop or that angular change through the hit, which you probably are because everyone does it. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, I'm going to try to make a lot more of them in this format because I'm just with my time schedule, this makes it a lot easier for me to pump out more content. We talk about this in my Forehand Fundamentals course. Whether you're an advanced player or not, I recommend you go to victorytennisprograms.com. First, take the Fundamentals Grips Ready Position course, which is free, and then go into the Forehand Fundamentals course, and I'm confident that it'll help you improve your tennis game. Thank you for taking time to watch, and I'll see you again soon.